Courtney and I have made a wrong turn, and we are stuck out at sea. This is the Wrong Turn Podcast.
Today we're going to try to do another 2002 classic, Ghost Ship.
Edgar did bring to my attention that I have a lot of films that happened that happened in 2001 and 2002, and I just think it was a very important time for me in my life.
You know, we
bad movies.
We could keep going on this 2002 road for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of things came out in 2002. Yeah.
It happened organically though. Like, we just think about different things to watch and compare and stuff like that. And it just so happens that a lot of them have been landing in the early aughts, early 2000s.
Well, all right. I think I was like a snobby horror movie kid in 2002.
You were in high school?
Yeah, I was coming out of high school.
In 2002, I was 11.
And I was like, I remember seeing the poster for this movie, and I was like, I'm not having it. And
fair, which is a fair like.
Oh, okay. So let's just really quickly. Let's take a rewind, and we're gonna go back to 2002 real quick. So this movie came out in Halloween 2002. So this was like the height. Yeah. This was This was it. Yeah, exactly. Like if you were a kid in 2002 and it's Halloween, like you're fucking primed. You're
that
ready
makes
for
sense.
it.
I'm a crazy Halloween person / kid, and I told you earlier I saw this in theaters with my mom.
I think
11 years old, which
I think if you are a horror head or a horror fan and Halloween comes around, like you're going to be like
spooky stuff.
Oh, spooky stuff all the way. So Halloween is our Christmas. Goth Christmas.
It's totally. We love it.
You know, Nightmare Before Christmas, all that shit, right? So then 2002 prime year, we got 28 Days Later, The Ring remake. We got Signs.
Oh.
Fear.com, which I don't know how it's aged.
It's been a while since I've seen that.
Robin Williams and 1 Hour Photo.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You ever seen 1 Hour Photo?
I haven't seen 1 Hour Photo.
His horror movie?
Robin Williams horror movie.
Yeah.
I remember, but I did not see it.
It's not bad. It's he's an actor.
I mean that when Robin Williams, only because as a kid I remember him in so many more family-friendly movies, and he definitely branched out later on in his career, which is great for him. He's a fantastic actor.
Queen of the Damned. R.I.P. 100%.
Queen of the Damned. Dang.
The Japanese Grudge.
So we had the Japanese Grudge, and then the remake, the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Just the Japanese one so far.
Okay. Right. Yeah. She was in that, right? The remake? Was that her? Or am I just...
Yeah. No, she
was in that one. Okay.
Not as good as the Ring remake, because the Ring remake is like...
The Grudge remake. Okay. The Ring remake. That's right. I got confused. Who's in that? I feel like there's a guy named Noah, or the character's name was Noah.
Probably. He's probably been...
That terrified me.
The Grudge? I mean, the Ring? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was scared of closets because I thought I was going to find a dead girl. Like in the beginning.
Like I said, I was a snobby little kid. I didn't know what the fuck was good. And back then I was just like, oh, I'm not going to watch this. This is garbage. This can't be, and it's called The Ring. What good? Also, I was like I said, ghosts weren't really my thing back then.
Yeah.
And then now we're on a ship with ghosts.
Yeah.
So also, we've done 4 movies so far. We've done The Wrong Turn, which also is 2002. We've done Cube Hypercube, which is also 2002. Cabin Fever, also 2002.
Yeah, it was a very, very deep year for me.
So we just might be going down this road for a while.
We were already talking about 13 Ghosts because Steve Beck, the director of this film, also directed that. But 13 Ghosts is just a one-off, so maybe that's a different thing we do down the road. Better than this movie, but this movie does have its charm.
It's got some stuff. So we're going to be playing it in the background. We're going to talk shit, pick it apart, and find some plot holes and just have fun with it.
Because
mostly we're going to just talk shit about this fucking movie.
As we do. Doesn't mean I don't love it, because I do.
And doesn't mean that it's not movies are really hard to make. Just because we're talking shit about it doesn't mean we don't appreciate these things. Like, these are labors of love done by groups and groups of very talented, artists and and technicians. But like,
so much goes into making a movie, and then so much can happen through the process of pre-production, production, and post-production that can just fuck with everything. I love these opening credits. It's so Love Boat.
It was like
so Love Boat, which is exactly what they were doing.
I love that you just automatically just go into Ghost Ship in this like very 50s.
I love it.
I Dream of Jeannie font.
Yes, I love it.
And this is what. All right, this is where your budget went.
The whole budget is the beginning scene. Because let me tell you, it gets you. You think you're about to step into something more than what this movie gives you. So yeah,
go for it.
Hands down, this is one of my favorite opening scenes.
$20 million budget, which, I don't have really a good concept of these things. I don't know if that's a lot of money back then. I don't know if it's a little bit of money back then.
It's not a lot of money to make a movie.
And this is a feature, a Hollywood feature. This has got
a Halloween release.
Halloween release. So automatically, millions of dollars are going into that marketing alone.
And it only made 68.
68?
Yeah.
Not great.
It made its money back, but it did not do great.
Well, it's also been
box office.
It's in terms of box office, not great. It's also was panned because movie overall is not spectacular, but it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So right now we are seeing the Ghost Ship, but in its prime. We have a very young kid actor, Emily Browning. Okay. She was in
Sucker Punch.
She was in Lemony Snicket with Jim Carrey. Remake.
Yeah, then we got some other actors. Most notably, Gabriel Byrne from the main character in Usual Suspects.
Yes.
And Gabriel Byrne loves a fucking neckerchief. He wears a neckerchief in this, and he wears a neckerchief in Usual Suspects. And I was just like, you're just the same guy. He is
just kind of the same guy.
He only acts he acts a lot with his eyes. Like, you're going to see him take a line in and just going to look back and forth like, huh? What?
He does do that a lot.
And I was just like, oh, okay. Oh, look, Robert Zemeckis.
Yep,
like you said.
Produced by Robert Zemeckis, like I mentioned. So there were names attached to this.
Yeah.
We are seeing the beautiful Italian singer. She comes to play later.
Francesca Rettadoni. Yeah, sorry. Because we're going to murder.
Okay. And now they're all dancing. The little girl's dancing with the captain. And I just love this scene. I really do.
And right here, the effects don't even look that bad right now. Oh, you know what? I missed that. All right, so somebody's secretly pulling a lever. I thought automatically this place was haunted.
Okay.
But
you know who pulled the lever.
Now we do.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I mean.
So all of a sudden we have a wire being pulled, and this is the most notable scene.
So cool, yes.
Everyone
knows this scene because it's just, you've seen Ghost Ship because you only watched the first 5 minutes and then you stopped.
You only need to watch the first 5 minutes. Actually, I'm going to put this on one of my 10 best horror cult openings ever.
Yes, because it is. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And it just slices everybody.
Everybody
right
gets
in half.
See, what I don't appreciate is like, you don't know what else happens on this ship until much later. Also, if you're doing a pan, everybody got sliced. Everybody's just standing there for a second. Mannequin.
That's mannequin. So many mannequins. so many mannequins.
There's
That's a couple. Okay. And of course, the only one that does not perish is the little girl because she was short enough not to get.
Because she's 3 feet.
Sliced. And how they all just fall apart is great. And if you want to talk about 13 Ghosts, there's a very good scene in 13 Ghosts where he does a very similar thing.
Oh, where he gets sliced by the door.
Yes. The lawyer.
Yeah, the lawyer. I remember that.
He's like very similar.
What is like? We gotta.
He like says
we gotta split.
He says like nice tits to like the hot ghost girl.
Oh yeah.
He's like nice tits, and then he's like gotta split, and it just gets it. Great.
Early 2000s. Boom.
It's rude to me. The captain's the best. Is like front head falls off, And there's a really cool scene with someone, the little corpse trying to like grab its legs.
Oh yeah, is like, some people are still sort of alive, like, and just trying to just put their bodies
alive. It's just in your body. Just
they're dying. Yeah, they're bleeding out. And
oh right, so here we go. We're meeting the new crew.
And here we got, let's see,
Arctic Warrior.
Oh yeah, the Arctic Warrior. Worst name for a boat ever.
Tugboat.
Yeah,
just a little tugboat.
We got the crew of a tugboat salvage team. We got Epps, Murphy, Dodge, Munder, and Santos. And
Munder is Carl Urban, by the way.
Carl Urban. Oh,
New Zealander. Now really famous because of The Boys on Amazon, which is fantastic.
And
so their whole gig, this crew, is that they go in and they can basically, they drag out old ships.
Yeah.
They bring them in to be scrapped.
Yeah, because metal's money. And
then they're also very good at, like, so for instance, in this scene, they're fast acting, fixing a hole in the boat. So
yeah, Juliana Margulies, who plays Epps, another one of the main characters, also best known for the TV show The Good Wife, which I've never seen.
Neither, but I know she's in it.
Yeah, you know she's in it. So, she's out there still working. She's doing great. Gave me very Ripley vibes in this movie right here. She's going to be our female protagonist.
She's our badass female lead.
Our badass. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And they're rough and tumble crew. They're family.
Like they're here for the thrill, the adventure of going and finding these boats and bringing them back for their cash.
They're essentially it's a tow truck for boats.
Yep. Which yes, Desmond's here right away. Oh, so excited.
So we know what they're doing, and then we're introduced to, again, 200002 Desmond
and his name's
Harrison.
Jack Ferryman. Of course he's Jack.
Jack Ferryman.
Jack Ferryman.
Come on.
Played by the love Desmond Harrington. My love, I guess, at this point.
He might just be our mascot.
We might have to put him on our logo.
Yeah, if this is season
he'll send us a season assist. Like, stop using.
If this is season 1 of our podcast, it's going to be Desmond Harrington's the spirit animal for so far.
So Desmond, aka Jack, shows up and is asking this crew. He just kind of shows up. He's in this bar they're all hanging out at, and it's like, I got a project for you.
I got a proposal.
I know there's this spooky ass ship out there, and it's worth so much money.
He's like, it's a freight. What's a freight? It's a
international waters, so it's super forbidden.
He's like, it's free game. It's like, it's a giant.
We're gonna get so much money. There's gold on that. Does he tell them there's gold?
No, they don't find that out. It's like, it's a giant.
Oops.
All they need to know is that it's a giant ship. So
exactly, because they're just here for the metal. They want that money.
Yeah. Which also, if you knew it was a giant ship, they come to it later and be like, this ship's too big. We can't even tug this by yourself.
Yeah, they do.
They should like.
Their tiny ass tugboat, the size of the ship, like, there's no way.
Well, I get it. Tugboats are supposed to be like, like an ant, essentially. It's supposed to be able to like carry like 5-10 times.
Yes,
its size.
way times its weight, of course. Yeah. But yes, like you said, they do get, like, there's no way that their one tugboat could do it. I did a little bit of research because I think that we could make a really great ghost ship movie. Not just saying that because we have other ideas.
No. Let's hear it.
So I did mention to you that there was, because right now the cast was just talking about whether or not they want to take this thing that Desmond or Jack offered.
And the only one that's really against it is right here, Isaiah Washington, and I can't remember his character's name. Also best known for starring in the TV show The Hundreds and ER.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he's like, I got a wife, or I got a fiance. I got to get back and get married. And everybody's like, money.
Everyone
bro.
else is just like, money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did like research some of like ghost ships, like, or that are in history as like, so there's some really good stories. There was one, I think, in the, but I did tell you about Death Ship, the 1980s, which is almost the exact same cover as Ghost Ship. And let me tell you, there are so many other Ghost Ship kind of cheesy ass movies that have the exact.
That was the impetus for us getting lost out at sea for this episode, was basically like
poster.
Just the same poster. We have Death Ship. We got like Poseidon. We got Ghost Ship. We got. Did I say Death Ship already?
Death Ship, because that was the
Did I say
80s
Ghost
one.
Ship twice. We got Triangle.
A Triangle,
which is part of.
There's one called Ghost Boat.
Ghost Boat.
Which is, I just like saying it. Ghost Boat.
I had a list somewhere, and I'm like, we're doing an ill justice.
There's so many, but Death Ship was actually kind of fun. Do you want to know what the plot is?
Let's do it.
It's a ex-Nazi torture ship that's out for blood on the ocean.
Oh,
so that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
There's some pretty good kill scenes for an 80 movie.
Nazis are coming back. Not like that.
Not like that.
but like as villains in movies.
As villains. Well, as they should. As they should. Like there's a really, in that movie, there's a really cool bathroom scene that's very like Psycho-esque.
Yeah.
So you can tell it was an interesting watch for sure.
All right. Well, we might do it on the next episode. There is another one called Blood Vessel, which is a newer release. And it is, I think, vampire Nazis. You come across vampire Nazis on a ship, something along those lines, as you do.
I just think there needs to be some more haunted ships.
Oh, all right. So we're back on the ship. They decided to take it.
They took the gig.
Obviously, they took the gig. It's raining. They're all getting real familiar.
They're going to find the ghost ship.
Yeah. And then Santos is driving to some new metal, some prime new metal right there. Oh. He's just in there. You know, he's offbeat, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He's
having Santos, the captain, the driver. He's
the mechanic.
That's right.
Yeah, Santos is the mechanic who's unfortunately, in like 20 minutes, we're going to find out he's the first to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're getting acquainted with the crew. Find out they're family, essentially. You know.
They need to know more about Jack, which is something you should do beforehand. Like how they're on the boat, it's a storm, and they're like, "So, what's your background?"
Well, it turns out he's a pilot, or he says he's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
He flies over Alaska and the Arctic, searching for other stuff, other boats. Yeah, it's just not very clear.
It's not.
Like a lot of things in this movie,
mm-hmm.
a lot of the dialogue.
You just said it's one of those 2002 kind of things. You just go with it. Time was simpler. We were in a mourning. It's after 2001, rough year for America.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, we just wanted to just forget.
Yeah, it's also weird too because Jack's sort of like interrogating Epps, who's Juliana Margulies, and just like, and then she just goes on to this whole thing, like, why am I on a boat, a woman here, and why am I not at home raising a family? I'm like, I didn't say any of that.
Yeah,
I
he
just
really
said,
brings it up.
I just said hi.
Hi.
Yeah, like
okay.
No, we weren't. Yeah, we were just wondering what brought you. Yeah.
We're just wondering what brought you out here.
Yeah, like, well, how'd you fall in this career? Yeah, no.
No, you don't understand. I got a wife.
Yeah, I wasn't. No, not interested. Just making small talk.
I fought in a war. Oh, okay.
All right. So then Santos is sort of looking at the radar. All of a sudden, he sees a ship. He doesn't see a ship. What? Could it be a ghost ship? Could it not be a ghost? It's probably the ghost ship.
It's a huge ship on the radar, too, by the way. Massive.
I also like that thing where they just like, you need to come up here and take a look at this. Like, what's going on? You need to come see this. There's how many lines?
Can you please tell me what's going on?
How many times have you heard that? You need to see this.
You need to see this.
I don't have time to tell you.
Can't.
I know. I can't tell you right now because you need to see this.
Whereas in any situation, you'd be like, holy shit, there's like this massive thing happening right now. You need to come look at this.
Yeah. It's like, I see the boat, but I don't see the boat. That would have been really simple.
Come look.
I could have saved you
but
time.
Literally, you decided to go, I just can't even tell you.
Oh, but I missed
look.
I missed the scene. You missed it where Gabriel Byrne is just looking side to side because he does it like 4 or 5 different times.
He does it a lot, though. So we will get... Santos.
Yeah, so they literally...
Oh, that's not Santos. That's the other guy.
That's Dodge.
Sorry.
He's also...
Very Owen Wilson.
Ron Elrod, which is...
I just get Owen Wilson vibes. Speaking of another 2002...
Sorry, Ron Ellard. He's been around for a while. He's in a bunch of stuff.
Not going to hate on him by any means.
Yeah. So they crash into the boat, sort of. Like, oh, where did this come from? It was right there.
Yeah.
Ocean liner. That's the word. It's a giant ocean liner.
The giant ocean liner.
I do like how all of us, like, we know we're on the set right now. Like,
oh, yeah.
Because we got a stationary camera looking at the ocean. And not this scene so much, but once they start boarding it and it looks completely different than this, like it's just like, oh yeah, this is like a pool.
Mm-hmm. Also, Carl Urban's so young in this movie.
Oh yeah, and Carl Urban's, like I said, he's been in everything. So he's in The Boys, he was in Dread, a slew of other things.
Oh, he's fantastic.
But yeah, I don't remember him being. Well, also, like I said, this is actually the first time I've seen this movie.
Yeah, because like you said earlier, like I was not going to see it because of the poster, but
I was aware of the opening scene. I just didn't put the two and two together.
Like you said, it's a very iconic. Like most people, like I said, you watch the first 5 minutes and you kind of stop. Like that was great. All right, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. There was so we have Gabriel Byrne, who is Murphy, giving us a lot of exposition. Mm-hmm. They're taking a look at the ocean liner, and all of a sudden we find out like Gabriel Byrne knows everything about this fucking ship. He's a fucking walking encyclopedia, apparently, of boats, which I don't know. Nobody had ever said any of that stuff beforehand, and we're not led to believe any of that before this moment. But he knows that the ship disappeared in 1962, that it's Italian, that it's a slow ship, it's not comparable to other ships, and we're just like, all right.
Yeah. Like, considering that Desmond's character, Jack, was just like, I have this, like, thing. Are you guys interested? And then all of a sudden he's standing there. It's like maybe he did some research on the boat when they were sitting there. But you're right. He just all of a sudden knew everything about this ship.
He's like, oh, this is the Graza. The Graza. Remember?
Yeah, it's like, I thought Jack just told you about it the other day for the first time.
Okay. I mean, they didn't know the name of the boat till they walked, or they see it up close. But yeah, I was just like, and then, from what I was told, like, all right, granted, I'm not in filmmaking. I didn't study any of this stuff, much like you, Courtney. But like, I'm always told you want to show things and not tell things,
yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So like, easily you could have just had some news clippings of like the Graza 1962 date, and then they could have just been flipping through this stuff because Ferryman could have given it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
And look, that's a good way of saying it too. Is just like when you have to explain a joke, you're like, ugh, like, it's just.
But I do love to explain a joke like an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. But you're like, no, did you get it though? Here, let me explain it. That's like
because the cat walks into the
bar. Because did you see? Okay, like
yeah. The chicken can't cross the road.
But did you see when he did put the blinds down and then he knocked? When you have to go back and explain to someone, you didn't do it correctly.
All right, so then they're walking in the boat.
So they are on the ghost ship. Santos and what's that character's name again?
Who? Isaiah. I know the actor's name is Isaiah Washington.
I know. Yeah, Isaiah. His character.
I will find out for you right now
because I can't see it right here.
Fair.
It's okay.
You know what's really funny is that so Santos, Mulder, and Dodge don't have first names on their character sheets. When we were talking about Cabin Fever and they were saying that these characters are barely characters, these guys weren't even given first names.
They weren't. There's the last name. Dodge. Yo, Munder.
Literally written as half a character.
Mm-hmm. But the other ones do. Even the little girl has a whole name.
Yeah. So Emily Browning plays Katie Harwood. Jack Ferryman. Carl Urban plays Mutter. Oh, so her name is Maureen Epps. And it's funny, though, because right here, as they're walking in the scene, they're walking onto the boat. Juliana Margulies calls herself Julie as a stewardess, which is her real name, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
That's a fun little play.
All right.
Sean Murphy, Greer. Isaiah Washington's name is Greer.
Greer, this character's name.
Just the last name.
I mean, that's very forgettable. I don't know if they even ever say that.
This, he doesn't last very long, so.
But he doesn't die first.
He does not die first. So we're getting some spooky vibes. Everything's decayed. Everything's been around for 40 years. And, fair enough.
Some really bad CGI.
That doesn't look too bad, but everything looks like shit because it's been just sitting out here in the ocean for 40 years. I'm surprised it hasn't sunk in 40 years, but maybe it's a ghost ship.
Maybe it's a ghost ship.
Yeah, I'm really annoyed by Desmond Harrington's character because he's acting like a baby.
He is, but But you know he's hiding something. Like on your on the first watch, you didn't think so?
No.
Okay.
You know that? No, because you know why? Wasn't that involved?
You're just like,
I was just watching this movie. I thought as I was watching it, I'm like, where is this going?
no, that's very true.
Because it does. I guess like you do feel like there's something going on in the ship, but I had no idea what was going on. There is some sort of entity. You get a lot of that little girl goes, Katie is sort of telling you there's something on the ship, yada yada. But you are not led to believe it is what it is at that point. And maybe I just wasn't paying attention close enough. But all that stuff comes together like right in the last 5 minutes.
Yes, it does. You're not wrong with the whole like, well, what's the really point? What they're doing here?
Yeah.
So Munder falls through the ceiling, the floor and the ceiling, and this is the first time where Maureen is seeing the ghost girl, Katie.
Yeah, which is it's a great shot.
Yeah,
and I think it's like the shot a lot of people screenshot. It was
definitely in the trailer.
100%.
Definitely in the trailer.
Murphy was telling him to be careful. He wasn't being careful. He falls through the floor. Epps sees the ghost girl for a second. She's the only one that's catching a glimpse of any of this stuff right from the beginning.
If you saw, obviously you wouldn't think it was a real little girl because that's not possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just trying to remember actually like watching this for the first time in theaters. And I guarantee you, I just thought Desmond Harrington was cute. That's all I cared about.
That's all you care about. Also, I don't know what the thing is. All right, so they're going onto the bridge. They're checking everything out. There's a dead seagull on there, which looks like a fresh dead seagull. And I thought that had something to do with the plot for a second. Nothing.
Nope. Just a bad art department.
I was just like, all right, dead seagull. They're looking around. They're finding out this boat's fucking dead in the water. It's just floating.
There's a whole lot of nothing happening for a while.
There's a whole lot of nothing. I'm going to put in a lot of fast forwards.
Go right ahead. We can even say that, and that's okay.
No, it's fine. It's just...
There is a whole lot of like, oh, God. Even when I was rewatching this, I was like, I must have just zoned out. Because in my brain, I thought it went from like that cool-ass beginning to them kind of like meeting Jack, they get on the ship, and then it was like the ghost. Like, it's just very slow.
Yeah, because like even things like this. All right, so they're still on the bridge. They're going to collect all the documents. All of a sudden, Dodge and Mutter find a digital watch. They were like, "Oh, I guess there was people on this boat before," but that goes nowhere.
It goes nowhere.
Like you maybe you pick up on little hints and bits like later in the movie. Be like, "Oh, okay, I guess a bunch of people have come on this ship before," but no.
Yeah, like okay, maybe like you said. Oh, were there people here before us? Like that whole idea of like other people have been here, but they've been killed, and now this ship is full of ghosts. And so I would have loved it if you like during all those scenes, you're seeing spooky shit, you're seeing shadows, and there's literally nothing.
All right, it's funny though because yeah, like this. If this was 13 ghosts on the water, this could have been a great classic.
Wow. That would have been kind of cool. There's some ghosts on the water.
Look, you got the captain ghost.
Can't go anywhere.
You got the little girl ghost. Then we could come across a bunch of unsavory characters later in the flashback. Mm-hmm. All those ghosts.
Yeah, where are they?
That would have been great.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the budget went to that opening.
I think it really did.
All right, see, it's actually funny though. All right, so they're back on the
tugboat,
the Arctic Warrior, tough name. And we're going to give a lot more exposition again. And then...
There's lots of signs of distress.
Yeah. And then...
sorry.
We got Gabriel Byrne over here just basically saying the $64 million question, which is exactly how much they made on this movie.
A little bit more. 68.
Oh, I thought they made 63 points.
68, I believe.
Oh, maybe that was my mistake.
That's okay. Close.
Oh, that's the name of the movie.
He goes, I love it when they say the names of movies, the title of the movie in the movie.
Oh.
You guys, you know what I think we have here? A ghost ship.
Oh, man. Like if they just...
Oh, it would have been so good if he would have said ghost boat.
Then they realized that wouldn't have worked in marketing. And they just had to call it...
You guys, I think it's a ghost boat. Sir, your line was ship.
And it seems like like they come across
So-
a lot of these meetings too.
Yeah.
Like where they all get together and just want to figure out
There's
what
a
their
lot
next...
of meetings.
Yeah.
You guys, we need to go sit downstairs. Around
We
the
need to
table.
go sit down. We need to sit together.
Mhm.
Which I was like, all right, this is where Gabriel Byrne shines the most in a conversation.
He does.
You know, he's not an
Eyes-
action star.
Eyes acting.
Yeah.
Desmond's just hanging out.
He's a
baby.
Yeah, we didn't even get to that part.
I need to know, because you had mentioned this to me earlier about how young Desmond looks in this movie.
He looks like 10 years younger than he does in Wrong
And
Turn.
we just watched 2002's Wrong Turn, where he stars in it. And he looks great, but in this movie, he looks like a baby.
Yeah.
He looks 22. Definitely not a manager at the Gap.
And he's hitting on Juliana Margulies.
Mhm.
And he fed her a cigarette, which apparently he knew that she needed, and I guess she was trying to quit. But, you know, she saw some shit. She's a little distraught right now.
Yeah, you need a cigarette. He's moving in because he's like, yo, you can tell me
You can
you
tell
saw
me.
a ghost. I'd believe you.
Which also, I don't know why he's like finding out what we do later. Like, I don't understand what his motivation was to get her.
To like him?
Yeah.
You're right. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Because once you get to the end, you're like, oh.
Well, it's plot lines that don't go anywhere. Like
exactly.
there was I feel like they threw in a bunch of stuff here and they didn't follow through. This is like if I wrote a story, and which is bad.
Don't get me wrong. Like when I mentioned, who knows what happened. There's so many, there can be some producer. The fact that Robert Zemeckis was on this anyway, there could have been someone high up and been like, we're going to do this. And then just, it changes everything.
No, you want creepy ghosts? No.
Nope. No.
Family film. All right, so they got their plan. They're gonna tug this thing and they're gonna try to fix it.
They're going to try to fix it because they realize that there's a breach or whatever.
Breach in the hole.
Breach in the hole.
You know.
And that's what they're good at.
Yeah. This salvage team.
That's what we saw in the beginning.
Yeah,
badasses.
100%. They're gonna find it. They're gonna fix it.
She got a big hole. I like that line.
So about 10 to 20 foot. That's a giant fucking
That's
hole.
a big hole.
That's bigger than this room.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a big ship.
It's a big ship.
Oh, they make a Titanic joke.
Oh,
Little iceberg joke.
Oh, which was it? When did Titanic come out? 1999.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what they're trying to pull?
Maybe, but I mean, everyone you talk about an iceberg, it's the first thing you think of.
Yeah, right.
Shipping an iceberg.
So it turns out they got 3 days. This boat is slowly drifting to a bunch of rocks on the edge of an island. You know, and if they don't fix this boat, it's just gonna catch that current and go right into that, and it's just gonna sink, and then they lose their payday. Rats. And here's another meeting.
God, so many meetings.
This is
a different meeting.
There's another meeting after this. Okay.
But now that you pointed out, I was like, shit, they do have a lot of meetings.
I'm only picking this up on this watch right now. The rudder's jammed.
You guys, I need everyone to come in here. I have a map of the boat that I drew. We're going to have a meeting.
And it's just scrawled on crayons on like a dinner menu, like a paper dinner menu. All right, so they're trying to figure out what their next step is. If they're gonna try to fix this boat up, if they should leave it, if they should come back, they're gonna try to fix it.
It's a huge payday. They can't miss out on this.
Yeah, and I also like how Santos is basically saying like our boat's shit right now. We can't do this with our boat.
He's the mechanic.
He's the mechanic, and then Murphy's just like, just fix the boat, and I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
But like. Literally, he's like, okay, so ours is shit right now. He goes, just fix it. And he's like, okay.
He's like, I have to overhaul our entire engine. Oh, I love this scene right here. They're bringing all the supplies onto their boat. There's just that shotgun that's just casually just sitting on top of the
old
couch.
Ass fucking chair.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? She's like, just to let you know, we got a shotgun on this boat. Why would you need a shotgun?
No clue. Absolutely no point. There's like, but hey, if any of you get out of hand,
there's a shotgun.
If any of us, go see madness here.
Yeah. So that was fucking weird.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I like his drawn on tattoo on his neck with a Sharpie marker. It looks pretty bad.
Oh, Santos. He drew it like this with his left hand on his own neck.
All right, so they're gonna fix the boat up. They're gonna try to fix the rudder. They're gonna try to fix the hole, the breach in the hull. They got 3 days to do it. It's not a lot of time, but you know what? They can do it because what?
Because what? They're the badass crew that they are. I don't know if you're trying to get me to say something else.
That's exactly what it was.
That's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Because they have so many meetings about it. They're
There's
prepared.
so many, but all they do is just walk around the boat for. They don't fit.
You guys, you had so many meetings and there were blueprints.
Yeah.
You should know where you're going.
They only fix the boat later.
They fix the boat. It's funny. I kind of missed the point where they had 3 days. Are they there for 3 days?
No, I think they're there for like a day and a half or something like. We'd like to like. I also like how we like to keep track of like the time.
Yeah, like it totally matters.
Like we did in.
But they don't have 3 days because shit starts going down real quick.
Kind of real quick. Yeah. Let's see. So they got 3 days from right now.
Allegedly.
It's day one. You know, they put all their stuff. The tugboat looks small, but apparently they got a bunch of stuff. They got explosives. They got metal plates. They're about to weld the shit out of this fucking boat. They're all just standing around and walking around, just looking at the stuff.
They find the captain's room. Yeah.
All right, so I guess Murphy has to go to the captain's room by himself because
he's the captain.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know
Sure.
what that was about. Dick measuring contest.
It was a dick measuring contest.
He just tells Greer like back off.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going into the captain's office, and Greer literally doesn't give a shit. He goes, okay.
Yeah, he rolls his eyes like, yeah, all right, Capitan.
Go jerk off in there.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
Oh, ocean liner.
Oh,
so much scrap.
I'm the captain.
All right. Yeah. This is where, all right, so
Juliana Maureen is her character. She's in a I do like the creepiness of an empty, gross ass pool.
Yeah, all the holes in it were.
There's bullet holes in it.
Which I didn't even pick up those were bullet holes at the beginning. I'm like, all right, there's a bunch of.
And she does see the ghost girl again.
Yeah.
That's, we're getting a little bit more ghost action. Now we're back with Greer.
Yeah, like in any haunted house movie, everybody gets separated.
Everyone's doing their own thing.
Just jerk off in the captain's room.
That's the vibe you get from it. He's like, I gotta go do this.
I missed I wasn't paying attention the first time, obviously.
It's so stupid. Like, he's like, I gotta check this out.
Also, I would be wearing a mask. Like, everything is covered in mold.
Yep. And that was even before COVID. Like,
I would have never touched anything with my bare hands.
He used to touch everything with his bare hands.
Mold?
That's black mold. That's not even.
Yeah.
You're gonna get sick.
And I do apologize for any background noises. We are a DIY project, so you're going to hear my neighbors doing the laundry. You're going to hear, the dog next door.
Support us,
yeah.
and hopefully we're doing our best.
Yeah, and you're going to hear our mascot chainsaw guy mowing the lawn next door.
We typically record on Wednesdays, and that's when he's here.
Yeah, what the fuck? Every time, like clockwork.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny though. He kind of Gear looks down the elevator shaft. Foreshadowing.
A little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So we now have Dodge and Munder are in the engine room, I guess?
Yeah, the engine room. It's flooded out.
Oh, he says it right there. Totally flooded. And this is where it all where they need to do the fixing.
Yeah.
There's the scene we just Juliana had fallen because she got scared by the ghost girl. She fell back into this empty pool. And there was this short scene of she hit her head and the blood sucked back into a bullet hole and then comes out of a different bullet hole in the pool. No idea.
Also
don't get why it wasn't even spooky. And there's no point.
Like, you've seen that a lot in other movies. There's a little bit of blood, drops onto some sacred or cursed object. It sucks it up, opens up a portal hell, as you do. But we're not getting that here. We're just getting that the ghost ship is just...
Because the ghost ship is never alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they kind of try to make it seem like it was.
We're getting a little bit of also the temptation trope. The ghost ship
because
is feeding on their... vices and sort of tempting them. We got Murphy's getting tempted with the alcohol because he is a recovered alcoholic, we find out. Okay, so the pool's filling up with water, I guess.
It's filling up with blood, but she can only see it.
Well, she's got her back to it, so she doesn't even see it right now. But also, where does this go?
There's no, it's
filling up very fast.
Insanely fast. There's no way that then the CGI. The CGI. I do like this. That's not bad. Too bad.
Okay, so we go underneath the pool of blood and we find out there's a bunch of dead bodies in there. But also nobody sees it.
Nobody see exactly. We
like in a haunted house movie, you need a character to see the creepy ghost stuff to get creeped out.
Yeah. And you do at the end of the movie you do get like I guess some sort of explanation to like
oh yeah, you find out everything.
It all
comes together, sort of.
But it's just you just have to walk away with being like, okay. It's okay.
Yeah. And I get it. The sets are expensive because like they built
all this.
They built a lot of hallways, a lot of rooms, and then they had to build these rooms, and I guess they had to destroy these rooms.
Then they had to destroy the rooms
to make them look like they've been decayed over 40 years. Yeah, so that's a little rough.
And I love a spooky, rotting room ship. I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah, you know.
But I did like her comment about the mold situation.
Oh my god,
yeah, you're right. That's like.
Oh my god, having to deal with mold in places they've lived in, like, no, it's not fun.
And you do get some gross dead bodies coming up right here.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Okay, so this
is a cool scene.
This is laying it on where I guess we find out that there's been more recent visitors on this ship.
Exactly. Because she opens up this door and in coming all these other dead bodies that are clearly have not been there. Or new, I mean.
Yeah, like they've only been in there for a few weeks apparently.
Yeah.
And they're knee deep in some water with a bunch of dead floating bodies.
And Maureen says the smartest thing anyone in this situation would do. She goes, "We got to get out of here."
Because she's the first one to come across any dead bodies.
Yeah, she goes, "Yo, these are fresh dead bodies. This ship's sinking. This isn't worth it."
Yeah, I can only imagine what that smells like. It's
a little rough. Disgusting. Yeah,
but also, this ship should smell like shit to begin with. It also would
smell like shit. And imagine even if you brought that shit back, you'd have to explain yourself.
Oh, you mean the whole boat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, excuse me, you guys, why are there 200 dead bodies on this boat?
Yeah. Like right now, that's fair. Like, are you, all of a sudden it's a crime scene. You're not going to be able to scrap it.
There's no way you're getting money from it, you guys. You might have solved a little bit of a mystery.
100%.
Scooby-Doo, congrats.
There is an investigation open all of a sudden. No, you guys are not going to pay. You wasted your time.
Your payday.
Unless you're like secretly getting rid of it, you know, like right. You know a guy who knows a guy who's like going to scrap it for you. Yeah. No questions asked.
The mob.
The mob.
Oh my God, is there a ship mob?
A tugboat.
Tugboat mob?
Tugboat mafia.
So real quick, we were back with Greer, and he sees the ghost of the sexy Italian singer. Mm-hmm. And you remember, he was the married one.
Oh, so
he's the one's got a wife and a family.
He's the one being tempted with sex.
He's being tempted with sex. He was like, ooh, like looking at her pictures, like, hey, baby. Jack finds a really cool car, which later you find out more about that.
They were submerged in water, but now they're bone dry.
Yep. Dried off real quick.
His jacket is there. There's not a speck of water on them.
And then they find mail. Oh, this is the rats.
I could see where all the money went because like this is another set they had to build. They had to build basically the vault with all the this car and the gold and the rats. So they come across.
Those are real rats. It's cool.
It's not bad. Oh, but you could see her sort of acting like there's rats. I hate rats because there's no real rats there, so she's got to say what they are.
Yeah. Oh, a rat.
Yeah.
We saw it, and then you do see the gold bars.
So they buy
the rats were in with
tons of fucking gold.
Gold, like cartoon amount of gold. A cartoon amount of gold.
Cases and cases of gold, which I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's where this was going. They didn't know that. I was like, all right,
but
cool.
Also, if you see that, You'd be like, yo, guys, let's just grab a case and get out of here.
I'm putting
Fuck this shit.
I'm not even putting it in a case. I'm putting this shit in my pockets. I'm grabbing one at a time. Like
I'm filling up my jacket.
If that's what it takes, we're leaving now.
We're leaving now.
Everybody grab 5-10 bars.
Exactly. You're set. Yeah. You're set.
So then
they're doing more investigating, these two, Maureen and Jack.
They figure they're trying to get in contact with everybody. Obviously, like in any ghost movie, you can't get anybody on the radio. It's just a lot of static and feedback. Everybody, they're scoping out the scene.
She's now walking through what was once the refrigerator of the ship. That's cool. I liked that. You see some creepy imagery of a scat, like what you would imagine would probably be like a pig or a goat or something that they had in the kitchen. But you get a funny prank from Dodge and Munder. They scared the shit out of her, which is kind of fun
because they think they think Epps is messing with them.
Yes.
It turns out they were just being spooked on too.
But then literally now Juliana, Maureen, is like, you guys, we just found a bunch of dead bodies and look at all this gold.
Actually, that really creepy scene with like the face behind the shroud, I think that actually was a ghost because they're on the other side.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's actually really good. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I liked it.
I like how they have to confirm.
You guys, meeting.
All right, so meeting in the gold room. So they need to open up another chest of gold to confirm that it's gold.
That is in fact gold.
Because
this one has no rats though, thank God. You guys, it's another case of gold. Again, just grab some and get out of there, but they get greedy.
I like he said this is like a cartoon number.
It's a cartoon amount of gold.
It also looks like cartoon gold.
It does. It super does.
It's super perfect.
It's so perfect. It almost looks like it also could be like chocolate.
Yeah, like they think it's gold, but
it's
they just
chocolate bars. Rats. Willy Wonka shows up.
That's why they're covered in rats, because they were just trying to get to this chocolate.
I don't know why. It's a cartoon amount of gold. It just looks like chocolate to me.
All right, so what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8 cases.
And he's stacking it in such a cartoon way.
Oh, yeah. You got to make like a little pyramid out of it.
It's a video game. I got the gold.
Yeah. They say it's maybe 300 million there. Which divided by what? 7 people?
You're fine.
You're fine.
You're fine. Yeah. But they get greedy. I'd be like, yo, just give me a couple bars. Let me have my 10 million and I'll be on my way.
They could have left right now. I like how we do this. They could have left right now. They would have survived.
Yep.
Maybe. But we find out that it's haunted.
Well, this kind of goes back to the new thing that we're trying. Would we survive?
Oh.
I mean, we don't have to do it right now.
New segment right here.
New segment.
Not a new segment, but like, let's do it.
This is our segment.
Would we have survived this movie?
Yes.
Yeah, this was pretty easy.
Because we would have found that gold. We would have been like, cool, let's grab some bars, and we would have bounced.
Never would have walked in because it's covered in mold. Let's turn this ship around.
Would have been like, this is a little... Ooh, you fell through the floor. It's a little dangerous in here.
This place is going to collapse at any moment.
Yeah.
So they have another meeting to decide
more meetings to talk about. We got all this gold, but again, back to like, there's just so much of nothing happening, nothing spooky, really, except for Maureen seeing the ghost. Like,
and I like how constantly Murphy's just being like, he just constantly. It's like the 4th time he's like, under maritime law, we find this in international waters. Finders keepers, losers weepers.
Losers weepers.
Every time.
He's
just like, all right, we got it the first time. You found it. It's yours.
It's yours. But you can't tell anyone about it.
I really got to figure out this. I really want to do like international waters. You just find something, it's yours.
Because everyone always says that that's an out. Please excuse the garbage truck outside.
Yeah. It's recycling day. So they're coming by. We recycle here on the Wrong Turn podcast.
Yes, we do. Stop using single-use plastics.
Oh, yeah.
Save our oceans so we can have more ghost ships. Please.
All right. So they figure out, they're like, all right, we're leaving right now. We're gonna. So I don't think you'd be able to push that. All right, so they've stacked at least 4 or 5 cases of gold onto this, dolly table. I do not think that's going to hold up.
Oh no, gold is so heavy.
Gold is so heavy. Now you got 8 cases of maybe 100 bars each or something like that. Like that is.
That's why I said it was so cartoony. They were like picking it up, like ooh la la, la. Like it's heavier than you fucking think it is.
All right, they're leaving right now. They're gonna pack they're gonna pack their tugboat with all their stuff. They're getting off this ship. Tension's rising. They're moving quickly. Ghost Girl's out here figuring out something's wrong.
No, Maureen, you can't leave.
You can't leave. Something's wrong. You wouldn't be able to push that table like that.
No,
not by yourself.
So heavy.
Yeah.
So the Ghost Girl tries to warn Maureen of what's going to happen. Santos gets blown up.
Apparently the ghost ship, ghost entity
Ghosts of the ghost ship. We don't really know.
Yeah, they opened up the propane tanks, leaking propane into the engine room. Greer presses the on button, turns on the engine. Whole thing explodes as the Ghost Girl's telling him to back off. Boat blows up. Santos is on fire.
Why did she do that?
Well, she's trying to save everybody. And that boat's... the Arctic Warrior's down. He's down for the count.
She does jump into the ocean to try to save her friends.
Yeah. I don't understand why.
This also is one of my favorite things that happens a lot in like action movies. Being blown to safety. Being blown away to safety.
Be blown away blown into a safe spot.
Yeah. So it exploded. She was right there. It exploded her away back onto the, she was totally fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
Totally fine. Not
not knocked unconscious.
Not a scratch, not a burn.
Not a scratch, not a burn.
Not any charcoal, any residue from the smoke.
Epps is immediately to action. She jumps in the water, tries to save everybody. Apparently, Mutter, Jack Ferryman, and Greer and Santos were on the ship, and Santos is dead.
Santos did perish.
Yeah. But I also don't understand why Katie's trying to warn them, because she's trying to warn them that another ghost comes out of nowhere to stop her from warning them.
Yeah, so this is where... So, of course, we have... Oops. Sorry.
No worries.
We've obviously both seen this. I've seen this many times. So we know the answer. We know who the other ghost was, who the other ghost is being mischievous.
But we don't get them again.
Exactly.
They never pop up again.
They don't pop up again.
Yeah, we only get glimpses of them.
We only get glimpses, but we know who it is. But the first time you're seeing it, you don't.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. At the first time watching, I'm like, okay, they're on their ship. There's good ghosts, there's bad ghosts, essentially. Mm-hmm. But yeah. And then what are we having? Another meeting. Because now we got to figure out what to do.
God, we should have done a roll call of meetings.
Yeah, we still got the gold. We lost somebody.
We've lost Santos' dad, but we still got the gold. They're gonna, captain this ship. They're taking over this ship. They got to fix it so they can take this ship in, basically, because the other one sank.
And I guess they didn't move their stuff yet, so all their stuff is still in the boat, so they can still fix this boat so they can get out of here.
Yeah. And they don't have any other choice at this point. Because what do you do?
I like how even Mutter's like, we got 3 days, but 3 days is not a lot of time to fix this boat. But
it's also the same day, right?
Oh yeah, this is the same day. This is still day one, so they got 2 days left now, and he's still saying 3 days.
Yeah, that's what I was bringing up, and this might be a thing that we always do because it's important. The time frames are always important.
Yeah, because now he's saying that. Let's just take it easy tonight, and then we'll start again in the AM when we have less time.
Yeah.
Now you're going to, if you have 3 days, you're working 24 hours.
That's what I mean, because your adrenaline would be so fucking high.
Yeah.
That you'd be like, no, at least for me, if we're going, would we survive this? I would be so, we need to get the fuck out of here. Let's fix this boat ASAP. They're fighting.
Yeah. I don't even get, I get it. You got, a 3-day gig, a 4-day gig. You're going to work constantly because you're going to get a big payout.
Exactly. And then you're going to take a couple weeks off.
Yeah. I get that 100%.
Yeah.
But I guess they were blown up. So I guess
they
they'll
were
take it
blown up.
easy. If
My
you
head
don't
hurts.
Yeah,
from
if
the
you don't die in your
explosion.
sleep from a concussion.
That man probably does have a concussion.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back to in the captain's room.
Yeah,
He's being tempted again by the alcohol because he's a recovering alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. Gabriel Byrne's having a dilemma in the captain's room.
Ooh, so much eye acting.
Mm-hmm.
And then he caves.
So they're just going to take the night off. They're just going to look around, figure stuff out. I don't understand how Epps figures out that was the little girl.
Exactly. So Epps, Maureen, goes and she looks over almost like an old log of possible passengers that were on the original ghost ship, and immediately goes to Katie's name. There's no way that she would have ever known her name was Katie, or let alone her last name. Because that's never happened. We don't know that. We don't even know what that little girl's name is yet.
No, because we get a lot of exposition from Murphy, and he's like, there's 500 passengers and 600 crew members.
Yes.
So like that log is going to be huge. Yeah. I also like, this is really funny on the first time. Greer's getting drunk in the ballroom because this is apparently, his scene. And he's looking at his picture of his fiance. Not a great photo, of his fiance. He's taking swigs of the bottle, and for some reason I thought he forgot that he was supposed to be acting. He was just holding the bottle upside down. So I'm like, oh, you're like, there's nothing coming out.
The other two, Dodge and Munder, are eating an old can of beans.
I do like the foreshadowing of the foreshadowing of a flashback that we're gonna find out, because we see rat poison, which was like, all right, that's clever.
And there is a cool part up with the food as well later, when they're thinking like, oh my god, we've like the beans are still good, and then later on we see it's kind of a cool effect. So now Epps is walking around the ship looking for Katie. I guess the only thing she could have gone off, if there was only one child on the entire boat and you went with age.
Maybe.
Like if you could find the ages of each of the passengers and for whatever reason on this ghost ship, there was one 9-year-old.
You think that would have been, is that a possibility?
No, I just think that's the only thing that would make any sort of sense of how she could have found out who the fuck Katie was.
But you do find out Katie was the only child traveling by herself.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess in a sense it's...
So these guys think that... these guys think that food from 40 years ago...
is totally fine.
I mean, that looks like Carl really had maggots in his mouth.
I think Carl might have had real maggots in his mouth. I think he's kind of a badass. I think he would have done it.
Respect the game for that.
Yeah. I feel like Carl probably did that.
One thing we're not harshly critical about is his character. He's fine.
He's fine. You know what?
He did a good job.
Fine. He did. Honestly, I'm not mad at his character at all. Not even Dodge. They're kind of both okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that in that way, those parts are successful.
And you know what? The acting, that's fine.
Yeah, the only part I have problems with sometimes are maybe Juliana Margulies and, Gabriel Byrne. Some of their acting's a little
those
weird.
two. And those are the kind of the bigger names in this.
I guess they're trying to carry this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I think Desmond kills it. Love him.
He's got like 5 lines.
He really is not much in this.
So I guess our
Epps finds Katie's room.
Yes.
He's got all of her dolls.
And I thought there was going to be some sort of thing with like her being a mother and like.
You'd think.
I thought it was going to be like this whole.
Do you think it would have added more if she could have possibly maybe like part of her story? This character was like she lost a child.
Yeah, that could have been something there. Like maybe she becomes a ghost on the ship and like takes care of Katie or something like that, and they play or whatever. Oh, that just would have been The Haunting.
Yeah. With
Owen Wilson. That's exactly what happens there.
It is. That's another one we can go into because that's not a great one.
That's
not great. Yeah. I think I already told you that I prefer the remake of House on Haunted Hill to that one. And even the remake of House on Haunted Hill.
No, it's two different ones.
Well, yeah, but it's The Haunting and the remake of House on Haunted Hill came out the same
Netflix?
year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
99 or 98.
Oh, both remakes, yes. I like how...
And I'm saying the remake of House on Haunted Hill was better.
Oh, overall, yeah. 100%.
All right, so Greer, we're back with drunk Greer. And the ship is magically, in his little vision, is going right back to its
1962.
1962. Everyone's clapping. It's brand new.
I like how they had to like really light Greer.
It's so green screened.
Yeah, they had to light him so good because they do a 360 turnaround as like the whole place is
because they obviously didn't go back and film anymore. All of that big production in the beginning was done once, and then they just had to green screen the rest.
I mean, unless they had two different ones, but that's just...
I doubt it.
Yeah. So everybody's being tempted. The ghosts
so we
are
have
really up in it right
Greer,
now.
the ghosts are up in it. Yeah. Greer is being tempted with the sexy Italian woman. The captain's being tempted to drink with the other captain.
And she just asks him to dance. You know, a little... And Greer says, fuck it. I can't cheat on my girl with the ghost. You know, because I guess in my head, I would think that I'm hallucinating too, right? Like,
well, and he's been drinking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you would think. You're on a ship. There's no way, you'd be like, all right, whatever.
He knows it isn't real.
Yeah, he says that. He goes, none of this is real. But then he just goes with it. He's like, okay, so I know it's not real, but am I going to get laid?
Yeah,
perhaps?
But then he tries to get laid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so like, what would it look like if those ghosts were? They're just like him jerking off in a corner. That's going to be really weird.
Or fucking like a couch. Like, what is he doing? He's hallucinating, so he's just...
Everybody walks in to find him just naked, just like humping.
He's humping like a chair. And you're like, Greer, what's going on, man?
I forgot I missed this part too, where Juliana Margulies finds...
You're like, I just zoned the fuck out when I was watching this.
I did.
Epps finds a dead hanging body, which was her parents?
No, she was traveling by herself, so they're trying to say that Katie committed suicide. Yeah.
Okay, look at that. I've seen this a million times, and like, whatever.
So Katie committed suicide on the ship.
Well, because everyone else died right in front of her. I think you're right, because the body's wearing the dress.
And then, see, because there is this plot, or there is these lines right here, that Katie's saying that she looks like her mother, or she reminds her of her mother. Okay. So, like, there's a half plot here that goes nowhere.
Like, yep, that's it. You look like my mother. Are you my mother? Will you stay here with me?
Yeah.
Which is very haunting-esque, yes. Like that.
Yeah, you know what? You know, could have gone somewhere.
But again, does not. They just introduce yet another random plot that doesn't move the movie towards anywhere. And she tries to give the locket back to Katie, and oops, she's a ghost.
Oh.
She can't hold it. I like that. Oh, God, you really are a fucking ghost.
Yeah, what did you expect? Like, what up to this point?
You really are.
Yeah.
Back to Greer in the sexy
ballroom.
Italian lady.
Yeah, Francesca Retondini.
I do really like her dress, though.
The captains are having a meeting.
The captains are... They're having a meeting. He's giving him more info. Maybe this captain visited him in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So you find out here that the dead captain is now giving him more insight of being like, we picked up another ship on their way.
Yeah.
Full of gold and the murderers.
The Lorelei.
Yeah.
And it says like, oh, the Lorelei says you found it in 1962, 2 days before you disappeared. Whoa.
And the captain's like, yes, you've do it all in your head now. Calculate it.
Oh, but it's actually funny though, because what he's doing, he's showing him photos, not telling him.
He goes, there was only one survivor on board. And then he shows him the photo. And he's like, no, it couldn't be.
And we got a boob
you
shot.
got some boobs. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Got some boobs.
This early, because we're still doing boob shots back then. You know?
Mm-hmm.
She's Italian. She's like, oh, it's normal.
Yeah. And of course, Greer's like, all right, here we go.
Just fine.
I do like the idea of just all of them walking in and be like, Greer, what are you doing?
And he just like vigorously just like pumped it like,
Like, okay.
just like awful.
Like the captain was getting drunk with the other ghost.
Yeah.
You're in here.
I forgot what movie it was where it's just something disgusting like that, where they just cut back. It's like a sexy scene before, and then just like the after shot of just like gross sex, and then somebody's just pumping away, just like sweat, just making horrible grunting noises, and that's just all I expected. Everybody's just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Oh God!
It just becomes very distasteful very quickly. Oh, okay. This is what I didn't. This is where I'm fucking lost right here. Katie's explaining more of the plot of this fucking ghost ship. She's saying they don't want me to talk to you because they need to fill their quota. And I'm like, what? Maybe you can explain this to me.
Okay. This is once again where this goes into. So I was trying to write my thoughts.
No worries. Yeah, we'll edit it.
It's so hard. It's so hard to try to explain this into some sort of something that'll make sense. So they took on board this other ship with the gold. And then, sorry, I'm also kind of watching this. They took the ship on with the gold with the one passenger, which we will. Do we just want to say it? We're gonna find out in like a couple minutes. Is Jack Desmond Harrington's character?
Yeah. Spoiler alert for a 20-year-old movie.
Jack's been the ghost this whole time, and he's bad. So it's kind of fun because up until this point, Jack doesn't say basically anything. He's quiet as hell, and then he's also like really shy and kind of a baby about everything. Like, oh, I don't want to go in there.
You're not led to believe that Jack is the villain.
Yeah,
he's not the ghost. He's like the ghost, or
he's the
like,
ghost,
or a demon.
He's a demon,
or like something or other.
And so when Katie, okay, real quick, Greer's like, hell yeah, time to get some action.
Like he's gonna like
he's like unbuttoning his pants.
Yeah, like he's gonna like
ready to go, and then she tricks him and he falls down the elevator shaft.
And that's it.
And that's it for him.
I do like this scene right here where he turns and you see her all decayed.
Yeah, it's very The Shining.
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
Yeah.
And then I do like how Murphy's being haunted already by the ghost of Santos. He's like, you were responsible for me, you let me down. And this is very much like Event Horizon.
Yep. Oh. So he sees Epps, and then it's disguised as Santos the ghost, and he attacks her, thinking it's Santos attacking him.
And Santos is all fucked up. He's burned. Like, he's just like, how'd you let me die? But yada, yada, yada. And Santos is taunting him. Santos is just like, how'd you let us all down? Yada, yada, yada. And there's just action scene ensues.
Yes. Oh, this is where the gun comes in handy. But not using it, just beating each other up with it. But here comes Jack. We as an audience don't know that he's the demon yet. Yeah. So you think, oh yes, he came to help her. And they put him, the captain.
This is like not an atrium.
It was the aquarium.
Aquarium, thank you. Yeah, a little aquarium inside the main hall.
No water in it. Obviously, it's empty now.
No water in it is a really good point.
It's a good point.
So now we're on day 2. It's the beginning of day 2.
Yeah, we are officially.
They're sort of gathering their thoughts with another meeting. Like they all literally all walking over.
We all need to sit. What are we gonna do here? Oh God! Back to what I was saying. Okay, with Katie and her that stupid scene where she was like, "They don't want us to know," like with the ship, or like we can't. I think the whole point of that is Desmond, Jack's character's whole point of him as a demon is he goes around and collects people's ghosts.
Yeah, he collects people's souls or whatever.
And there's a bunch of them on this ship. So he needs this ship.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, is that the thing? Like, oh, you're...
But this also doesn't make any sense, because why?
Oh,
why are they trapped on the ship?
He says it later, like, he's like, oh, because management.
Management.
Which I was like, oh, okay, great. There's more to this.
Him at the Gap, managing the Gap.
He's like, oh, okay, so you're saying like either more evil spirits or more demons have him collecting souls for them or whatnot, just trapped on this boat. But I'm like,
It doesn't make any sense. And once again, I've seen this several times. And even now I'm like, it's, yeah.
All right. So it's the AM, and like the plan in the second or
It's
third
also
meeting.
shockingly bright under the water. I know they have lights, but did you see the outside there?
Oh, yeah. Is that why they're doing it in the AM? Maybe that's why they're doing it.
No, but I mean, you could see the light underwater. They're down way too deep. That's just a little thing. But I know they have lamps, but there was one scene where you're like, that's supposed to be the outside in the deep, dark ocean.
That's funny because that's where they're saying the engine room is. So they're saying like half this boat is like.
Yeah. Again, logistics. Doesn't make any sense.
They said they fixed the rudder. They patched what they said they could do in 3 days.
They've
done
in
it in
20
an
minutes.
afternoon.
They did 20 minutes. They were like, we got it.
A 20 foot.
Shit, an iceberg. Just kidding.
Yeah. A 20-foot gap that they were just able to like just patch up in no time. Because what? Because they are
the badass crew. Badass tugboat crew.
Yeah, badass tugboat crew. Takes no shit.
She knows what she's fucking doing. She fixes this goddamn boat full of ghosts.
So they turn the boat away from the rocks and then onto the next obstacle. Whatever the fuck. Oh, they go looking for Greer, or at least Epps goes looking for Greer.
Now,
because
they
were
looking
Greer
for him
day.
early. They do realize he's gone, but they have no idea where he's off to.
But also, like, if I'm on a ghost ship, and also the other two don't realize they're on a ghost ship, it's just
her.
Yeah, Epps for now.
And then the other guy, because he's kind of lost his mind, though.
Yeah.
But also, does she tell anyone else about Katie besides Jack?
I think she told them, but I don't know if they actually
Did she tell him
believe them or something. And then we find
Dead Greer
at the bottom of the elevator shaft.
I like how she checks to see if he's alive.
Oh, right. Like,
are you okay?
Greer is impaled by a bunch of metal rods.
A bunch of cables and metal rods.
And he's just like, I'm going to check his pulse.
Greer. Like, she really... That's a scene where you'd see that and you go, oh.
Yeah, right. Homie's dead.
But she does kind of like...
So Katie kind of led the way there.
Katie helped her find...
and then Katie's got something to show her, and this is where we're going to have our montage flashback scene.
Yes.
Of what actually
Katie
happened.
Takes her back. And so we're going back in time to
back to May 16th in 1962.
When the boat is nice and fresh.
Yep. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's having a good time.
The costumes are so bad.
Oh, well, for the time, I think is all right. We're getting glimpses of everything that happened. We're getting a bunch of food being poisoned.
So
it's the crew.
Exactly. So if no one even died with the beginning, like slicing with a wire, they would have all died eventually because everyone's being rat poisoned by the food.
Yeah, which also we're like all of a sudden we have no idea what's going on because we think we're on a ghost ship. Everybody got sliced, and we're just like, oh, okay.
We get to see some more of the slicing from the beginning, which I love. I love that they brought us back. We got to see a little bit more.
Yeah, but then it just escalates from there. Like, we got people being poisoned. We got people being sliced. And then we realize that the fucking crew have just fucking had it, I guess, or the crew are revolting for some fucking reason.
It was a mutiny gone wrong.
Yeah, like they just start murdering everybody.
Yeah, it's just, you said something before. You're like, so much pointless murder. And I was like, yeah. Is that what you said?
No, it was just like, oh, there's a lot of murdering happening, but it just escalates. Like, I do dig it because nobody is safe and everybody's just getting...
No one's safe. The crew just annihilates every single... So now you get a little bit of reference to the pool and the blood, or the gunshots and the pool filling up with blood.
Yeah.
But once again, no one saw that earlier.
Yeah, and then the crew start turning on each other, and then they start murdering each other.
It's just murder. It's just cold-blooded murder.
And you're like, where the fuck is all this going? Where the fuck is all this coming from? And I guess maybe Katie didn't commit suicide. Maybe
you get the idea that maybe she didn't. That they did it to her.
And like maybe the crew's doing it because they found this gold on that other ship, and they're going to murder everybody, and they're just going to take the gold for themselves.
God, they're so excited.
They're so excited. They're like, oh, awesome, we killed everybody. They also could have just stolen it, like Ocean's 11'd it,
Yeah, they could have Ocean's 11'd it for sure. And then you have Francesca, our Italian, gorgeous lady.
So we got
one of the crew members kills the rest, but then Francesca does him in.
Yeah, that was a cool shot.
Which is cool. It was, you got a really nice bullet through the head.
Yeah.
Back of the head. And now we finally get to see who's been in charge of this the whole time.
Yeah, who masterminded this whole thing. Which, I don't know if it's so much that he masterminded or he's just like some sort of ghost that influences people.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, but I bet this was like eye candy for you because
oh my god, I was in love with Desmond.
And we got the reveal, Desmond Harrington.
It's Desmond Harrington. It's
and he's
Jack.
Got this,
he is the baddie. He's the baddie.
And she's probably got one of the worst deaths.
Yeah, but it was really cool. She gets annihilated by a hook right to the jaw. Oof. And that's cool. They do show it. And then he takes her jewelry.
No, he
wait, no.
Which is a whole other aspect of this fucking movie.
And they never mentioned it again.
Katie had mentioned it before, but like apparently he's just marking all these bodies and he's just taking all these souls.
But I think that's how he gets them to be part of his little, I'll take your soul. Like your souls belong to him.
Yeah.
When he marks you. Maybe?
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah.
Feel free to write it and let us know.
No. That seems like that's right. It's bad guy logic. Bad guy science. Guy logic? Yeah. That's fine.
I own you.
I go with that. You've been marked by the hook.
It should have been like 666.
See, this is what I don't.
Yes, this part where the captain. Oh, then he has the picture of.
Because right here, all of a sudden, Epps goes to find Murphy. Murphy's been drowned inside the aquarium. He's in the aquarium
that's now full of water.
And he's a very bad dummy.
Horrible.
But just unceremoniously just done off. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. This could have been a whole other scene.
I would have liked to see him die like that.
Like somebody trying to save him and just slowly it's filling up with water.
Oh, that would have been cool.
And he's died off camera.
Off camera, you just see a bad dummy.
Either that or they ran out of money to pay Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah, they couldn't pay him anymore. And they were like, okay.
Pretty sure he's probably the most expensive actor on this.
Probably, yeah. Between those two. Absolutely.
But he's not the only one that gets done unceremoniously because here we go jump to Mutter. He has to unclog the pumps because they're trying to salvage this boat and they're trying to save this.
Yeah, they're trying to pump out all this extra water.
There you go.
So we can get this ship moving along.
Mm-hmm. They find out it's clogged and all of a sudden the engine starts and Mutter just gets fucking squashed and done.
He just gets like by those little rolly things.
Like really quickly.
Really quickly. We hang on to Dodge for a little bit.
But only for like an extra minute, which also gets murdered off screen.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like, they ran out of money and like you're dead now.
They ran out of money and then they kill off everybody really quickly in the last 5 minutes.
And it stinks because, as you know, I'm a big fan of watching people die in creative ways.
Well, we got one. We got one of the most creative mass murder scenes in like movie history. And
then they did you dirty with the rest of the movie.
And they shortchanged us for the rest of it. Really. You
came in hot, Ghost Ship.
You came in super hot.
And I was so excited.
You blew your load up real fast and just fucking.
Yeah, it lasted 30 seconds.
Yeah. So there we go. So like it wasn't even a lead up.
Oh, I know. Here goes Munder. Yep, gone. He just gets squished.
Yeah. Which fucking sucks.
It sucks.
It's a gnarly.
R.I.P. Carl.
Yeah. Carl Urban's done off. As Epps is going to look for him. Mm-hmm. Like as she's going to look for him.
And then she's, bloody water. What
which is
happened?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I do like that. It comes up the clear tube, blood water.
I guess he fixed and that's not even him.
That's not even him. They try to do like his dead body or the face. Yeah, his face was left in the bottom.
They gave us a mangled dummy, and
it was just some dummy. That
it didn't look anything like
nothing like Carl Urban. Nothing like Carl Urban.
If anything, I think they just reused the same dummy.
The same dummy they put in the aquarium.
Yeah.
For Murphy.
Just cut him up. So she left Dodge on the bridge with Jack Ferryman.
Dodge is now so super suspect of Jack. He's like full on like this guy's bad.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden we got
also Jack's hot now.
You're just saying that because you've had a crush on this guy for the last 21 years.
Yeah, but now he's bad. Now he's a badass.
And it's really weird because then they throw in another plot line Right,
So
where like Dodge,
I'm
where
lost.
like
You should have wrote them down.
yeah, Jack is basically telling Dodge like, why are you letting her tell you what to do?
You let a woman tell you what to do?
Yeah, you must worship her,
You
but
coward.
but you won't make a move. And you're like, when was there a love?
There was
plot?
never a love interest between her and any of them.
No.
They were trying to make one between her and Jack, but that didn't even happen.
And this guy, Ron Ellard, dude, this guy's been in like so many fucking movies. I'm pretty sure he was like hot shit back then.
Oh yeah, he dodged just like shotgun right into Desmond Harrington to Jack.
Just fucking blew him away.
And this is so cool. I do really like this.
He shot his dead body on the floor, and we have a little
you get
fake
a cool
out.
little like shotgun on his stomach, but obviously he's still alive. Obviously,
Still alive. Still, he does a little.
Well, he's not alive. He's a fucking demon.
Well, he does like a little. What was it? He looks up.
He looks up.
Yeah. So
But
that's
you
where
knew that was going to happen.
that's where I know him from.
Dodge?
Ron Ellard. Yeah, Ron Ellard. He was in Sleepers.
Oh, yeah.
Deep Impact.
Deep Impact.
And I love that movie.
It's a
Sleepers.
great movie.
Sleepers is awesome. Oh, he's like the love interest in Drop Dead Fred. You ever see Drop Dead Fred?
I have.
Oh,
He's the
yeah.
love interest. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Okay. So then Epps has had it. She goes to the engine room. She's like, I'm going to blow this whole fucking thing up. I'm going to take this ship down. I don't give a fuck. Which, you know what? Badass bitch.
She's like, no, fuck this shit.
Fuck this shit.
Dodge allegedly comes back and is like, no, let's do this together.
we got the gold.
We can do it. Let's save the ship.
You and me, baby.
Baby, let's be together. We can get married.
Yeah. We got all the money in the world
All
now.
the money in the world. Let's be together.
I mean, in fairness, they did fix the ship. They got the gold.
Yeah, but also Dodge is being, as we know, well, Dodge is dead because Jack killed him, and now Jack is just acting as Dodge.
Unceremoniously done it.
Mm-hmm. Kill us all. Hey, Dodge, why haven't you asked me about Munder?
Yeah, that's where Ep sort of figures out.
Yeah.
Like, why haven't you asked me about your best friend?
Yeah, where's your best friend? Oh, because I already know he's dead.
Actually, that wasn't a bad
Not bad.
transition. Like,
But also, don't you think he now looks a little bit older?
like he just fixed his hair a little bit.
Like in the beginning of the movie, you're like, this man's 22. And now I'm like, okay, he's aged a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you that. I guess it must have been the makeup or something
Maybe.
that like took away the 5 o'clock
Because you
shadow.
weren't wrong. In the beginning, he's a baby.
I think they gave him like 3 little swooshes on his head, like 3 little
Swishes, like little bangs.
little bangs, yeah.
But now,
Because he's evil.
But now he's evil, and he has this Desmond Harrington has a very like stern face, like very serious stern face.
Yeah, and he's made a living like that.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Like comedy's not he's not where he's at usually.
You know what? But if he
I'm sure he's great.
If he could play deadpan, oh, he would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So then, was it Jack's trying to convince her? He's just like, let's do this.
She gets hit and thrown into the water by a pipe.
Yeah, because he's a fucking demon. He can control things.
He's a demon. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Technically, she would have
But
no
he
chance.
can't get the ship together himself. He needs.
Oh, that's true. That was the plot point. The plot is that he needed her.
He needs their help to get the ship.
Yeah,
For
I guess
some reason.
I guess they don't teach welding in fucking demon school.
Demon school doesn't teach welding.
Yeah.
You can't get a ship. But also, okay, so she successfully blows up this fucking ship.
Oh, is that? Oh, I didn't realize he had died. Oh, okay.
Does he though?
Does he though?
Does he?
I mean,
He
we
can't.
already
He's a
realized he
demon.
can't die, so that was kind of pointless.
It was pointless. It was just like when he got shot by Dodge. There's no point. But the point of, I guess, her exploding the boat is it releases the souls.
So then I guess Jack has no power because he's got nothing.
Well, he loses the power that he wanted from the souls that were trapped on the body.
Yeah.
Ship, sorry. I was watching Dead Bodies when I was saying that. It's like, oh, my brain.
So Katie sort of
Is leading her out, is helping her get out of this now sinking ship.
And it's sinking fast.
It's sinking fast. Very Titanic.
Very Titanic. And we seen the spirits
All
being
the souls
released. Yeah, everything's getting released.
swimming to the top.
I could see why they might have changed plot points in the middle of this because, like, oh, I guess we got to free the ghosts off this ghost ship.
All the innocent ghosts, I guess.
Yeah.
The innocent lives taken.
Well, unless like they're maybe all innocent because they were all influenced by Jack Ferryman, maybe. Oh no, because I think he's saying that he's got to like. I don't fucking remember.
Well, we're trying real hard.
We're trying a lot harder than
we're
they
trying
thought.
really hard to try to.
And that's not a bad scene.
I actually do like that. So you have the ship sinking and the souls spiraling, kind of going up into, I guess, heaven.
Even for 2002, that looks pretty good.
It looks nice. It
looked a lot better than some of the other shots.
Mm-hmm.
But right before this, we saw Jack Ferryman being just fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
Like his body just exploded.
He exploded. So you think he's dead?
And from what I learned in Titanic, she needed to like really like start when that boat sinks, it just takes everything
swirling.
She
Titanic taught me some things.
Titanic taught me some shit.
And it was that ship will suck you down.
100%. You got to keep pedaling.
And that water's very cold.
Well, it's daytime.
Yeah, no, it's still the ocean though.
It depends on which.
It's not
Strait.
the Arctic. There's no icebergs, but it's still be pretty cold. I would have loved it if she was on a bed headboard though. If you really wanted to go like full Titanic.
Oh, just keep making it.
We have a character named Jack.
Just keep poking at Titanic. That would have been great. And then Epps is saved by another boat.
She is saved. She's rescued by a cruise ship. And she's being hauled up to an ambulance. Mm-hmm. There's really nothing going on except for she's just being hauled to an ambulance.
It's just slow-mo. Nobody's talking. Yeah, there's not. Which, for all the exposition and all the explaining they did in this movie, all of a sudden they got nothing left to say.
No one's got anything to say.
Yeah. She didn't say anything. She doesn't say anything to anybody. Anything about any gold.
And then, as she's sitting in the ambulance, what does she see? But all of her old pals.
No, not even.
No, wait.
No.
Wait. They show up.
No. I would have loved it if it was like the spirits of
I do believe it's they all look just like the old people.
Oh, you think it was like, wait, let's rewind that.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Just rewind it okay, anyway, Jack's not dead. That's the end of it. Literally, okay, we can rewind it real quick. But every single one of those characters looked exactly like
good
characters.
Oh, I love that. No,
it was not the actors, but they all looked exactly like them.
No, I love some shit like that. Hold on a second. Okay.
It would have been cool if it was the same actors, but they didn't do that. They probably had to go home.
So what we find out is that basically, like, there's gold crates being put on the ship that she just left.
So they're putting gold back onto the cruise ship she just got saved from. The same gold. Because Jack's at it again.
Okay, so we got
Santos.
That one, yes. That guy kind of looks like Santos. Maybe because we got a clear.
I guess that isn't. But then we have Greer, and then the last guy looks like Dodge.
It does look like Dodge, so they're kind of like the crew.
I'm gonna choose to believe that's what it is.
I'll give you that. That's a good little thing. And then Jack Ferryman's the last one
Desmond
aboard the boat.
Is going right back onto the ship because you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna kill them all.
Yeah. He's still at it because nothing.
You guess you can't kill Jack Ferryman if that's even his name. I would have liked if he had a different demon name.
Yeah, because Ferryman, that's supposed to.
That's just his alter ego.
Which is funny though, because with the other movie we were talking about, there are other Greek mythology undertones or nudges that they make. So this one is Jack Ferryman, who's supposed to be, Corin, who the fuck is the ferryman to take you to the underworld, essentially, whatever the fuck. So I guess they're trying to say, but he doesn't. He's not a ferryman. He holds on to your
souls and then needs. There's no fucking point as to why he needs someone to help him bring a ship back to collect souls. It just. And the gold. Does he want the gold?
Well, no, I think the gold is only to tempt
the others.
Yeah,
to get to work for him.
To tempt people to do really shitty shit to kill each other. Oh, I think he said something along the lines that I can only take souls that have committed sin, or I can only take souls that have committed a crime or something like that.
He does say that. So I think that's the process of getting people
that's
to
why
be bad.
That's why he takes That's why he takes Murphy, because Murphy essentially attacked Epps, and that's why he takes Greer, because Greer is going to cheat on his wife with a ghost. Is that a thing? Is that murky?
They tried. Again, so many things they really tried. They announced, like, they introduced it, and then there was absolutely no follow. So question mark. There's a big old question mark.
Oh, they should have done that in the with the 50s font.
Yeah.
Bring question mark.
Like the Love Boat question mark.
Oh, so you're saying in an alternate reality we have a franchise of ghost ship movies? With Jack Ferryman?
Big fan. Let's call Desmond.
On the phone right now. Desmond Harrington, we got a pitch for you.
I need
Jack
you to
Ferryman.
come back and be just like a demon man on the ghost ships.
Man, can like bring it back one last trip out of retirement.
Is he married?
Probably.
Oh.
No, actually I have no idea.
I asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Let's find out.
Because clearly I have a massive crush on him and didn't really realize it until now.
On the internet, it doesn't say anything, but he could keep his life private.
Yeah, he could be very private man.
46 years old. 46 years young.
Oh, 46.
It's not that far from us. I don't know.
He's
what generation?
15. Not quite 15 years older than me.
Should we continue on this Desmond Harrington run?
Only if it happens organically, because that's honestly what's happened so far.
Okay, that's fair.
But unless you can name a few, I honestly,
The Hole 2001.
what did he do?
I'm not sure. I know he's in. He's on the poster. Love Object 2003.
Love Object. Is he the love object?
You would hope so.
I would hope so. Yes.
But we're only doing horror movies with Desmond Harrington.
We are.
We're not doing any action movies.
But to my knowledge, is obviously Wrong Turn, Ghost Ship, and Quinn. He's Quinn and Dexter. Those are the things I think of right away. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a Desmond Harrington deep dive on my own.
Just for the Patreon.
Yeah. Do you want to hear me talk more about Desmond?
A deep dive on Desmond Harrington.
Still, it's a name. It is a name.
It is a fucking name. Like, if that alone gets you inside the room where you can, flourish, I'll give it to him.
I'd be so successful one day, and they'd be like, who do you want to be in your movie? Like, Desmond motherfucking Harrington.
Like, we got to come up with, like, side personas that are, like, names that are just have that much gravitas as Desmond Harrington. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Overall, I have a lot of nostalgic to this. It's not great. It has Ghost Ship has one of the most iconic opening scenes there is when it comes to horror movies. I love it. Did you just say you were going to put it in like a top 5 or like
I think a top 10 of cold opens.
Top 10 of cold opens of like horror. One. It's good.
So far on my list, and I'll say it here because like I think maybe we can do a YouTube channel too, and we could put stuff on there. We could put our streaming.
It's up there. It's so cool.
And then like put clips, put like little clips and little fun stuff. But like on my list of cold opens, the remake of Friday the 13th, which I've told you about before, I think is the best half hour of a Friday the 13th movie ever. It is so good, so hardcore, and it's so fast that I'm like, oh, if this was really who you were up against, you'd have no fucking chance.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I have the list somewhere, but yeah. And this one, 100%. That one's so fun because.
But the rest of the movie,
you've never seen something like that before.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me my entire life.
Yeah.
I think that's what tricks me into thinking I really like this movie.
I knew about that scene. I've never seen this movie before.
I know. And I can tell you right now that I'll be like, I love this movie. Then I'll watch it just twice this past week for this. And I'm like, do I?
It just unraveled at the end, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like it wanted to go some places. It had some places that it wanted to lead you to. And it felt like it just fell apart. Could have been budgetary. Could have been writers, like too many, cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
It was unfortunate.
Too many plots, too many holes.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10 ghost ships.
I'm going to I'll do 4 because even though I love it and I'm certain I'll watch it again at some point in my life. 4 for the opening scene alone. Again, it tricks me every time. I'll watch the opening scene. I'm like, yes, this is so cool. And then I get into it. I'm like, ugh, what happened? But then I'm just happy that Desmond's there. I'm like, okay, cool. 4 out of 10 ghost ships.
Well, you just loved it, and then you just gave it 4 out of 10. You just spoke about it so highly, and all of a sudden you were like 4 out of 10. I gave it more than me.
Because it's just, it has its silliness to it. Watch it for the first 5 minutes.
I mean, you know,
watch it if you got mad love for Desmond.
You know, I've seen it all. You know, and
okay, you know what? I'm gonna do 5. I'll go to 5.
I've
right in the middle. I do like it.
I mean, I do love horror movies, so I'm glad I saw at least one. And like this, and ghost boats are a whole genre into themselves.
So
like,
yes, I think there needs to be more ghost ship movies.
I think it's just expensive. I think. It's
yeah,
just
I agree. It's because you either have to do a shit ton of CGI,
yeah,
or you actually have to get people out on
you need
the
a couple things. You need a boat, and you need a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
Both are not cheap.
Not cheap to make if you're either going to do it in real life, like on the ocean, or if you're going to make a set, it's not cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Well, join us next time, guys. That was our episode. We'll still be stuck out in the water.
We are stuck in the water.
Yeah, for our next episode.
Making wrong turns on a ship.
Also, like, how can you make a like? You know, I mean,
how can you make a wrong turn?
If you're stuck on an open water.
When you're on a ship in the ocean, we made a wrong turn.
You know what? That's a movie. All right, because there are ghost ship movies on the water, right? But there's also monster movies out on the water, and there's
Imagine a wrong turn on a ship, and you found cannibals, cannibal pirates. Is there cannibal pirates?
You have to do some deep diving. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there are something, but we also have, we have shark movies,
but then we're stepping into creatures.
Yeah,
we did talk about this.
So it's like there's a kind of like a fine line because as we were researching, I was like, oh, Death Ship, and the next thing it tells me is Jaws, and the next thing it tells me.
Remember, I was like Deep Blue Sea, but even though it's not a ship though. It's not a ship. They're just on the ocean.
It's not. So
there is some boat activity, but it's not a ship and it's not ghosts.
For this wrong turn, we're staying on ships for now. Mm-hmm. They might be haunted. They might not.
Yeah.
Take care.